So it's another great day for us to talk about foliage. And I wanted to introduce you to the Green Bouquet from Ferntrust. Obviously, historically, this is a great concept. This is the Green Bouquet. I just want to show you it has American grown label on it because obviously the Green Bouquet is created in Florida at Ferntrust. We've talked about Ferntrust and how they are a cooperative of foliage farmers, 11, who grow different products. They bring them together, and it's the union of those American-grown farmers together that allows them to have the selling power of Ferntrust. I love the name too, Ferntrust, Fern you can trust. Really simple, okay? And they're located in the foliage capital of the world. Okay, the foliage capital of the world is in Florida, right about an hour north of Orlando. And it's what we call the citrus bubble. And that citrus bubble is where it's the perfect place to grow foliage on the planet. Bobby Ecker was instrumental and a mentor of mine, but instrumental in creating the Green Bouquets. Her concept was that you could use it as a structure for creating beautiful arrangements. It was a time saver, really, for professional florists because they could drop the foliage bouquet in and then add flowers. Let's say a dozen roses, add 12 roses very quickly, all right? And here, it's probably easier for me to show you the concept, okay? So typically, set yourself up. You're in a flower shop. It's Mother's Day. You have to create 100 or 150 dozen roses in a vase like this. And so typically what you would do is you would go into the cooler, you would go to the boxes of greenery, and there might be a stack of them about this tall, okay? And you would pull out a bunch of leatherleaf, you'd pull out a bunch of ruscus, you'd pull out a bunch of aspidistra, you'd pull out a bunch of lilygrass, you might pull out some variegated pittosporum, and you'd bring them all and lay them on your table. And then you would take a couple of those stems and put them in here, and you might have 10 or 12 vases, okay? And so you've got those bunches of foliage laying here, you've got your bunches of roses on the other side, and you're gonna slap all those things together, and you're gonna try and do that. Well, as a labor-saving device, the Green Bouquet allowed you to do all of that in one swift motion, right? So you have this beautiful bouquet that looks like this. You cut the stems with a bunch cutter like this. You pull off the plastic, okay? Pull out your rubber band and drop it into a vase, okay? So now in this vase, I have aspidistra leaves. I have Florida foliage, also known as leatherleaf. I know you guys call it baker fern sometimes, things like that. But this is, I call it Florida fern, okay? So we have Florida fern, we have lilygrass, we have ruscus, we have variegated pittosporum, and we have our aspidistra leaves. And now it's ready for us to add our flowers, okay? So that effort of going in, grabbing all those bunches, bringing them out here, letting other pieces of those bunches lay on the table and become dehydrated or get buried under other items. This way, if you had 150 of these to do, you could line up 150 vases, clip, drop, clip, drop, clip, drop, clip, drop, clip, drop, and they're ready to go, right? And look at the beauty of this foliage arrangement. That's also part of what Ferntrust does. It's the fern cool process that they use. When the foliages come in, it's warm. It's warm in Florida. So the foliages have been picked out in the fields. They're cut off of the plants. Early in the morning, they're brought into the packing house where they're put into these big metal cages. And then those big metal cages are submerged in a special formula that helps keep the foliage sealed. And the formula is about 40 degrees. So that's why it's the fern cool process. Cooling those down is the same thing that we do with flowers whenever we're anywhere else in the world. We want to cool them down before they're shipped and packaged because vegetation in a box, whether it's flowers or foliage, will generate heat as it's moist. And so if it's cool, it doesn't generate that heat. So it makes things last longer. Brilliant, brilliant, okay? So, and that's also why it's shiny, why it looks beautiful, and why it's gonna last a long time. So you see how quickly that could go together, and then I simply drop in my flowers. That's the next step, okay? And so it's a labor-saving device for us because we didn't have to put in 1, 2, 3 aspidistra leaves, 1, 2 ruscus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of leather leaf, a couple more pieces of the pittosporum, you know, the bear grass, the lily grass down inside there. We don't have to do that. Cut, drop, it's in there. You can use that same benefit when you're creating your own flower arrangements. And that's what I think is so interesting. Now, the other thing that you're going to notice is that this bouquet, once I take it out of here, look at that. It's already arranged. Look at how there's the aspidistra leaf on either side. There's the 2 pieces of ruscus. There's the lily grass in the center. It's all arranged. It's already pre-done for you because there are artisans at Ferntrust who are making these bouquets, and they're creating them as a bouquet. They're not, you know, oh, 2 of these, 4 of these, 6 of these, blah, 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 hand them to you. No, they're arranged in this beautiful bouquet so that you can cut it and drop it into a vase. Okay, pretty impressive. Now, we talk about structure, and I think that that's an important part about what we do, because in the case of this, a cylinder vase, I've got about a 6-inch cylinder vase here, and I'm going to have to add foliage because if I have flowers, and let's just take a few little flowers down here like this. Let's take a couple. This is a beautiful little pink carnation, right? And I cut him, and I drop him in there. And I take a piece of my hypericum like this, and I cut it, pop off that, and drop it in there. I got to figure out how to make those things all go together, and I've got to figure out how to have structure. And maybe I don't have, you know, maybe I've got a few pieces of hypericum like that, and a few pieces of I broke the little guy. There we go. I've got these guys, and this guy, and I want these to look great in this vase. That's where a green bouquet is helpful. I want to encourage you that when you go to your flower seller to ask them if they have green bouquets. I think that that's a great solution because at the grocery store, at your flower seller, at a professional florist, because it's going to help you. And also at the same time, maybe you're going to arrange some flowers from the garden. And you've got a few flowers out there that you want. Maybe you have 10 stems like this of flowers you cut in your garden and you want them to look great in this vase that you have. That's where a beautiful bouquet like this comes into play, because then suddenly I can take this. I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter than I did for the last vase, obviously. I'm going to pluck off just a couple of these little pieces of foliage that might fall below the water line. Okay, and then drop it in there. Look at that. Ta-da! All right, and because everybody's already set inside there, it's ready to go, right? And so then I can come along, and because I have this amazing structure already inside my vase, I can add these flowers simply and easily. I talk about flower foam a lot because I do like flower foam for some arrangements because it allows me the ability to strategically place the flowers exactly where I want them to be in the bouquet. You know what? With this product, the Green Bouquet, I can do exactly the same thing. I can place these strategically exactly where I want them, because the foliage is helping them stay in place. Super, super easy way for me to accelerate my flower arranging skills by using something as simple as fabulous foliage. Okay, really, really, really easy. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. I mean, it's ready to roll. It's ready to roll. And I'm just looking to see if I have something else. I'm going to add, because you know what I love is I love a little bit of that chartreuse green, because chartreuse green helps make those other colors bubble up, makes those pinks seem more intense. It also creates a wonderful contrast for my fabulous foliage. It almost matches the green of these Pittosporum. And it also is a great contrast to the ruscus that's in here too. So now look at that. Look, it makes it easy because I'm able to work with this. Now, I like to show you all this construction too, because this, I have a pink wallpaper in the bedroom that I think is that's lovely. I love it. It's Ellie Cashman. But it matches this great accent decor pottery that I have. And this is a pot that's made of ceramic. So I like to line it with a liner like this because then it's not going to damage the pot. Okay? And then I can add water and everything. And look at how great that looks. My last step, obviously, is to add my Chrysler Professional Glory. That's why we love a turntable, right? Because it goes so quickly and easily like that. And now, all ready to go, right? So I think I had 13 stems. Five of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh, 6. So 6, 5, and 3 is 6 and 5 and 3 is 14. Yeah. Let's do 15, shall we? Let's call 15 a good number for this. I'll put one more right here. Okay, there we go. 15 stems of flowers, a green bouquet, and I'm done. So again, remember, fabulous foliage from Ferntrust, Fern Capital of the World. Remember the green bouquet, an easy way for us to add foliage. I mean, look at this. That could just sit on the table like that by itself. That would be fabulous, right? Fabulous foliage. Okay. And remember our friends at Ferntrust, because they're the ones who created this green bouquet. I think it's a wonderful way for us to enhance our arranging skills or create something beautiful in our home that's foliage. And remember, the foliage is providing us health and wellness benefits too, because it's exchanging CO2 and it's transmitting oxygen. It's going to last in our home for several weeks. We can add flowers, even remove flowers and put new flowers back in. We can do all sorts of fun stuff with it. So green bouquet from Ferntrust. You're welcome. All right. Until next time, keep having fun with flowers.